Before I delve into my topic, can I please see a raise of hands? How many in this room are parents? Quite a lot. Thank you very much. Now, I want you to take a moment to journey back in time on that special moment when you first held your child. A precious moment of love, joy, and hope. A moment that is supposed to be the most blissful experience of your life. However, for far too many mothers, this experience is spoiled by a hidden, vicious enemy, postpartum depression. This hurricane of emotion transforms what is supposed to be the happiest moment of a mother into a deep feeling of sadness and loneliness. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a very good evening to you all.
Good evening.
Tonight, my goal is to break the taboo about depression and to promote mental health awareness. According to a 2021 study published in the Journal of Women's Health, suicide accounts for 20% of postnatal death. This is not just a statistic. It represents countless number of mothers, women, our friends, our sisters, suffering from silent depression, desperately in need of our help and understanding. 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege of visiting my sister in Singapore. She recently gave birth to a loving baby boy, half Filipino, half Italian. On the outside, my sister was very happy. However, little did I know that she was suffering. Only until our deep conversations was I able to find out that she was suffering from postpartum depression. And she was actually rushed to a hospital because of an attempted suicide. That news broke my heart. My sister, whom I knew to be a very strong woman, is suffering from depression. This made me realize the harsh truth that depression is indeed a silent killer. Some people may be happy on the outside, but deep inside, they are hurting, giving their fake smiles and laughter. And that's the reason why we must be compassionate listeners, trying to seek out, reach out to them, and ask, listen, and understand how they truly feel. But you might ask, what exactly is depression? Does it affect only women? And isn't it just a sad feeling? Oh no, my dear friends. To understand depression, we must know its nature. It is imperative that we must understand this. Depression is not just a feeling of sadness. It's normal to feel sad when you lose a loved one, when you lose a job, or even experience disappointments. Occasional low moods are normal because these sad feelings come and go. On the contrary, depression is a persistent feeling of sadness and low esteem and lack of interest. Depression causes you to feel sad almost every other day. It changes the way how you think, the way how you feel, and the way how you behave. And sometimes it affects your day-to-day activities. And most of the depressed people eventually lead to committing suicide and self-harm. Suicide and depression are linked, with an estimate that up to 60% of people who commit suicide have had a major depression in their lives. And this is the reason why we must take depression seriously. It is not a joke. It can affect anyone. It does not discriminate based on age, on gender, or race. It can affect you, or your wife, your husband, and even your precious children. But you might ask, how will I know if someone is secretly battling depression? Well, there are a few symptoms that could tell if someone is battling depression. A few of them could be a lack of interest, lack of appetite, loss of weight, lack of energy, and even changes in sleeping patterns. And when you see these symptoms on your friends or family, I urge you, my dear friends, to reach out to them, to help them to speak up. I know you cannot force anyone to talk, but you need to let them know that you are there and that you are ready to listen. A simple, are you okay? Or Is there something that you want to talk about? Can make a lot of difference. Helping people who are depressed doesn't really take a lot of effort. Sometimes it's as simple as picking up the phone and listening to what they have to say. And letting them know over and over again, you are not alone. Hey buddy, I am here for you. For those of you who are suffering depression secretly, I urge you to break the silence, to seek for help, because asking for help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it is proof that you are actually strong. I hope that my speech for you tonight will urge you to pick up that phone and call your friend. And to be strong, because depression is actually real. I hope that someday we could create a community where seeking help for mental health is as natural as seeking help for physical illness. Again, my name is Quinones, and I am your friend, and I want you to know that you are not alone. Thank you.
Okay, so practice, practice, practice. Ask a good speaker how to craft a good speech, and this is what they'll tell you. Practice is imperative. This was the first thing that stood out to me about Mark's speech today. He had practiced really well, dressed to the nines. He was giving a speech from a position of authority, so it really made sense that he was dressed really well. He didn't falter once during his delivery. He had memorized the speech beautifully, so all the key, the way he was able to make eye contact with everyone, he was just so comfortable up here on stage, and that's because of the homework that he had done before he even came on stage, practicing the speech. So really well done on doing that. Speech objective. Now, he laid out for the audience right from the get-go what his speech objective was. He had sent it to me earlier. I didn't want to say it to see if he could deliver it effectively without me having to say it. So the speech objective was to break the taboo about depression and to promote mental health awareness. So he laid that out from the beginning. And I think he smashed that objective with panache, right? And the way he did it was with, firstly, superb audience connect. He started with that impactful question about holding your child, great body action over there as well. He, like I said, made eye contact, which was exceptionally well done, I think, today. He made eye contact with me personally multiple times, and I could see that he was looking at everyone. So that audience connect was really great. Personal stories throughout the speech. Again, a great way to build audience connect by putting yourself out there and humanizing your story. And he had great call to action and points for action at the end. Not just to be aware of depression, but what do you do? If you're suffering from it, ask for help. If you're in a position to help, reach out, pick up the phone. Hey buddy, I'm here for you. So exceptionally well done throughout. Those are the things that he did really well. Now, what could he have done better? I have two things to say. Today's speech, I felt, was, there are speeches that are written to appeal emotionally and those that are written to appeal logically. I think today was definitely a very emotional appeal. I may have missed it, but I didn't hear any points or data or any kind of sources cited throughout for what was sort of an authoritative speech. It would have made that emotional connect a little bit more underscored for me if I had heard maybe one or two data points, which doesn't have to be presented as a data point. You could say 5 out of 7 people suffer from depression. Maybe you said it, but I missed it if you did, right? And then the second thing is cadence. He did voice modulation really well, but I felt like the pace of his speaking was the same throughout. So especially some places where my sister, when he said that, he could have slowed down a little. My sister, right? So that would have really accented the good command that he had over his voice modulation. So all in all, really well done in achieving the speech objectives, great audience connect, good call to action, focus on adding maybe a data point in there and cadence to build on your voice modulation. Over to you.